Yar! Welcome aboard the Cringe. I'm your captain, Joey, Joey speaking. And we are about to endeavor in episode 12 of Daily Chores and Tours. So without further ado, let's get going. Was an odd morning this morning. Both OBS and Nintendo had an update. So I'm about 10 minutes late. So OBS is the software I use that allows me to record my gameplay. And if I didn't say it before, I'm your captain, Joey, Joey. Alright. Just started the gameplay of Ice Age. Ooh, Red's here. Sweet. We are definitely going to do that today. Yeah, so Nintendo had an update. Not sure what it was. I'll find out later. Found the first fossil. This is Tuesday, July 28th. Okay. Let's double check, make sure I've cleaned out my inventory. Yeah, OBS had a problem downloading, so that's why it took me a couple minutes. I had to cancel the update and then re-download. So OBS, as best as my recollection recalls, or recollection, is an open source broadcasting software, and it updated to, I think it was 31 point something something. And it's a good program. It's a little complicated, but there's a lot of tutorials on YouTube that'll get you through that. I've been thinking about switching over to Meld. I just don't know that much. I don't do a lot of live streaming, so. And I think Meld can do both, but it's primarily for live streamers. It really simplifies the process. OBS, there's just a couple of settings you have to update. And it's all based upon your software. We'll come over here. Clean up. And you can see our newest fossil, or gyroid, the heart one. I can't remember what the name was, but all right. Wow, second fossil. Probably just did that, but of course I have it. I should have 2 fossils in here this morning. 2 gyroids as I was. Man, you would never know that I had, this is my second cup of coffee, which is the beverage of choice this morning. Since I'm down here, I'm gonna check the villagers. It's the easiest part. There's not typically too much going on down here. So we have 3 fossils this morning in the first 2 minutes of gameplay. That is a rare occurrence. And it doesn't look like anybody's up today. Yeah, so as I mentioned, there were 2 updates. We're going to do this. Beautiful. Nice. I haven't gotten the Cat Master or Cast Master update, so, or milestone. Now you know why. A boing old. We'll put that back down. Place. Can't remember what a boing old. A rattleoid. Okay. Ah, guess what's behind there? My tree. Alright. So let's do place. Ooh. That's a new color. So that's going to be right here. Beautiful. We'll put this away. All right. Nice. Okay, what's my next one? I think I have that one. Kind of looks like a chipmunk. I do not. Wow. Yeah, I don't have a black one. Even better. Better collecting. Okay, we are going to eat. And eat. Because we got the stone. Alright, we're going to bring this through. You know what? I'm going to eat everything. That way I'm done for the next island. And there's enough for the island. There's for the stone. There's for the tree. And we're going to eat 2 more. Okay. Yeah, that's kind of a nice surprise. We probably already have this one. We're going to take a shot at it. Okay. Yep. All right. So this one's going. What the heck? And there we go. Alright. That one's going too. If I'm pulling out one, I'm pulling out two. Okay, so this is my new one. Place. Oh. Okay. Well, that was a nice surprise. Yet. All right. Put away. All right. So we have the stone. Yeah, we still have enough of coconuts eaten. So, ladies and gentlemen, we got 2 of them with 6 color variants. There's my first one. There's my second one. I should probably put them in the same color order. I'm not going to do that, just so you know. Oh, forgot that one. Got to clean up the island. I don't want to lose the 5-star. All right. So, 3 fossils, the money tree. You know what? We're going to do this way. Oh, nice. There's an echo. That's been happening a lot. So I think it's feedback. So when that happens... Whoa. When that happens, I try to change the microphone. Maybe I'm catching it at a weird angle. Well, we caught all the fossils. So now we have 1 weed. All right, all the fossils, 1 weed. And the money tree. Just double checking I didn't miss a weed. All right. Let's see if we can go for 3 days in a row with 100,000. Nope. I got my 30 grand back. That's good. So for the last 2 days, I got 100,000 or 90,000. Pretty close. You know what? Yesterday, I don't think we found the stone. Or if we did, I didn't even recognize it. Here we go. That was from yesterday. Because it's not the money. So that's the one we forgot yesterday. We got 1 more stone. You know what? I'm going to eat 1 more. Better to be safe. When I go to the island, I'll make sure to save. There we go. Okay. All right. I love the colored pumpkins. Various colors of autumn. Yeah, so I had that echo pattern start a while ago. I thought it was software, but it's more like feedback. And I don't use a voice changer or anything like that. Oh, don't tell me I got rid of my fence. Put my fence back. You kidding? That's not what I wanted. There we go. Okay, let's do this now. Alright. There we go. Alright. Let's go up the side and see if we can... Ooh, another gyroid. We are lucky. I had a dry spell for gyroids. So as soon as we go up this side, we will... You are not going to do the thinking bubble. No, ma'am. Okay. Okay. Super fab. Cool. Thought bubbles usually mean people want to leave. Alright. Oh, that's cool. Okay, so we're good. Should we do red right now? Well, let's wait a minute. Yeah, we're here. This way we can go do the museum all at once. Even though it's not going to show up till tomorrow. Alright. Let's see what red has to give us today. Well, if it isn't my favorite cousin. Okay, one... Solemn painting. So this is going to be a good one. All right. See if we can find the solemn. Okay. Okay, the fake version of the solemn painting changes the orientation of the man's arm seen at the very back of the picture in the doorway. His arm is touching raw rather than pointing on the real voice. Okay, so let's check and see. I want a closer look. He's definitely pointing. Yeah, let's do it. Sold. Alright. So he is definitely pointing, so if the guide is real... Okay. Perfect painting. Look. I always like looking to see which ones are real and which ones are not. Okay. Yeah. It's an interesting chair. I don't like that. We'll hold off. Alright. Later, dude. I hope so. As long as the guide was correct. So as you know, my goal since getting the 5-star island is trying to complete everything. And I'm going to really have to start doing a fishing video and collect everything. We'll get you. Cool. So the reason why I'm starting off going to this side is because I'm going to go to the other side anyways, because that's where I do most of the business. And this way I'm only backtracking once. So we still have to find the stone. All right, we found the stone. Okay. All right, we made our money back. All right, making sure I picked up the pieces. All right. All right. Yeah, this way we finish up with red, or I'm sorry, the blathers, and we're done all in the beginning. And then if we're backtracking, we're just doing it to get the gyroid. Clacker cart? Didn't know. All right. So all we're checking is for logs now. Good. Let's go in here and take care of business. And then when I sell everything, we're just going right to the other side. That's fossils. That's good. Jolly good. Alright. As much as I don't want to, we're going to do this. Take a photo. Good. Let's get that done. Back. We're going to be selling the fruit as soon as we get back. Alright. Let's go get our cup of coffee so we can get that last Gyroid. I discovered a new channel that I really like. It's called Explore With Us. It talks about crime. And they actually have counselors and stuff that analyze the videos and leave feedback, which is really cool. So you're either going to see it as Explore With Us or EWU. So EWU, which is, Explore With Us. And I really like that channel. So I'm a big real crime buff. It started with my first book. I read a book when I was sailing, and it was called Whomever Fights Monsters. Oh, cool. By Robert Kessler or Wrestler? I think it's Wrestler. Graduated from Michigan State with a master's degree. Spent 2 years in the art. I think he spent a couple of years. He was an officer. And he was an MP, police. And he had to work with the FBI on a case. And ever since then, he applied. And he became one of the, I think it was the third profiler. And there's some really interesting... Ooh, cool. There's some really cool history in there. A grinder. Nice. Sweet. All right. We're going to sell some stuff. All right. Okay, we're not going to sell that. Ooh. We'll keep that. Confirm. And so. We'll do the gyroid when we get back. We'll do it all at once. But I am going to take the rest of that stuff to the house. That way I can carry more back. And I really have to start selling some of the materials that I have. Alright. Oop. That is a coffee grinder. Alright. Put in storage. That is coming up here. We'll keep that. And put in storage. Alright, so... Yeah, so we'll take a look. I really need to build a kitchen. I have a lot of wallpaper. And the reason why I have so many of these is because I like this. Not a fan of the clothing. Why did I keep that? Move to pockets. So I need to sell a lot of this stuff. I think it's about time. I'm going to keep the eggs, the hearts. All right. Leave that just in case. Drop item. We'll come back and get that if we want to. Yeah, wake up, mister. Of course. I want that gyroid. Yeah, this Whomever Fights Monsters book is really, it's a short book, but Robert Ressler goes into a lot of the crimes he worked on. And again, he was either the second or the third profiler, and he was the one that developed the VICAP, the Violent Criminal Apprehension Program. He did a lot of the research. So when it comes to categorizing crime, he did a lot of that kind of stuff. And he's the one that did kind of the major book work for how the FBI catalogs crimes. John Douglas was one. He's more of the Hollywood style. And if you ever saw Silence of the Lambs, that's how Ressler became familiar. And same with Douglas. Because the actors studied from those guys. I think John Douglas and Ressler were the primary merge, or I think it was Carradine, or no, John Glenn's character. I'm a fan of Ressler because he's not a Hollywood guy. He's more of a, right, he's not the showboat. That's kind of why I like him. So he wasn't the only person that did the categorizing of the crimes. It was a book written by 4 people. He just did a majority of the legwork. And he's the one that coined the term serial. So that was, it's an interesting book series. That wasn't his only book. He's had many, but he wasn't the Hollywood kind of guy. That's more John Douglas. Interesting enough, he's got ties to John Wayne Gacy. If my memory serves, he delivered groceries, I think, to, I don't know if it was, I think it was Gacy's mom's house or something. So he delivered groceries there, and he lived around, I can't remember the guy's name, I don't know, was another violent person. And it became a fascinating crime, but he lived around that. I think it was Herons. I don't want to get the name wrong, but he lived, so that piqued his interest when he was a kid, and that kind of stayed with him. And so that's why he wanted to be a cop. Just kind of interesting. It's kind of interesting why people are driven to that kind of stuff. So apparently when he, his history was that he served in the military, and I think it was the Army, and he had to work with the FBI on a case, and he liked the organization and such, and the guy recommended that he apply. And so that's how it all happened. So I read Silence of the Lambs by Thomas Harris, and Red Dragon and all those. And that guy, when he developed it, the storyline, he went to police conventions. And Robert Ressler was one of the guys he interviewed. Or at least my understanding was, you know, somehow they came in contact, and I don't know if it was Douglas or if it was that guy. And so that's kind of how all that started. Interesting enough, Thomas Harris also wrote Black Sunday. It was a movie about the blimp and a football stadium back in the early 70s. He sold that and made a movie out of it. They made a movie out of it. I think it had James Caan. It's either James Caan or Dern. Bruce Dern, I think. Might have been Dern. Way back when, I used to work for a video store, so kind of knew a lot of the actors. So I think it was Dern. His daughter is the famous Laura Dern. All right, we'll go up here. Yeah, a while ago I used to be a manager, and this was in the early 80s, or late 80s maybe. Ah, there's some down here. We'll come and get those. Beautiful. See how they place it? Let's see if I can go back. Sometimes you can go one way and not the other. Yeah. Back then they used to have this big, huge catalog that got updated of all the movies ever made, whether they're on video or not. It was a huge encyclopedia. They had organized by director, by actor. So essentially, that's the way I view IMDb. All right, you can, it's kind of an indexing. It was a huge book, man. And every Blockbuster had one. It was a good company in the early days. I didn't have any issues with it. You know, the people were friendly. You know, and just like any job, the only thing that you're really going to miss is some of the camaraderie. Oh, don't tell me yep. Just making sure I didn't lose a log. We'll go up here and take care of this. And then we'll come down and handle the gyroid. All right. I think that's it. Okay, now we're going to go take care of the gyroid, sell the stuff, and take care of the gyroids. Yeah, I really liked working at Blockbuster. They were pretty good. The hours were fairly long. And back then they were open for every holiday. Including Christmas. But Christmas they didn't open till either 11 or noon. So... It was a really cool company. I kind of miss that. It was a good job. You know, it is what it was. You know, you're returning movies and cleaning shelves. But as far as a retail, it was pretty mellow because most of the people that came in, I mean, where I was working, we still had some people steal stuff, but, you know, it wasn't, you know, the most they're going to pull is like an $80 movie, maybe a couple of them. All right. I'll keep those. We're going to sell the dirt. And I need to keep some of these. So I have to keep some of the fruit. There we go. Oh, I did too. Keep on forgetting that's even a thing. Alright, oh, let's check this while we're here. Standy? Oh, be nice to the little bird. Let's go in here and check our status and our money, and then we'll bury everything. This one's running a little bit longer. Yeah, we'll keep that. Make sure we still have a 5-star. Yeah, so Blockbuster was pretty cool. It was not bad. Nowadays, it would have been a personal information nightmare. But back then, it was the early days of computers. Good. Oh, I hit it twice. Hey. There we go. Okay, let's go take care of the gyroids. Do. So the thought process when I built this island, I built the left side of the island to have enough space if I wanted to put all my pine trees. I never thought about doing gyroids. One of my gameplays, I collected like 20 of them. So I knew it was going to take a lot of space. So I subconsciously knew it was going to be it. And I wasn't sure which side was going to be the gyroid side. But I made my left side of the island, I made it large enough that if I have to move pine trees, I can. Alright, there's 2. 1 and 2. So, you know, that way... place. There we go. Oh, that's right. You got to stand exactly back. So, we'll come back this way. Okay, I'm going to place... Yeah, so this side of my island, I made it big, and I made the other side what I think was just as big. But I did that because I knew at some point I was either going to have to put trees or something else, and I was thinking about putting my houses here. But I think the island looks better, right? So one of my gameplays, I put my houses down here, and I liked the view of the pine trees in the background. So that's kind of why I built the pine trees up. But I made the sides pretty big, so I could either put a camping tent or something along those lines. Let's put storage. I just didn't know if I was going to do that. You know, not at the get-go. And then I just started putting the gyroids to fill space. So it ended up turning out to be the right choice. But I always put my cedar trees up high. I gotta be honest, in real life, I don't like pine trees or cedar. They fall pretty easy. But other than that, ladies and gentlemen, we'll leave it for tomorrow. At some point, I'm going to start including another hour of gameplay that's going to work on collecting. You know, but until then, we have to wait for Red. All right. Thanks for joining me. Thanks for listening to me talk about Robert Ressler. And it's either Ressler or Kessler. And my days of Blockbuster. So, have a wonderful day. Thank you.